So do you enjoy socializing, or is it something that you avoid like the plague? It's so funny. This past week I actually wrote an article for an online magazine about being a social butterfly and some tips to make that easier. And of course tonight I find myself going to a party where I have the opportunity to practice my skills as a social butterfly, and it was a little awkward going into it. It was fascinating. I don't really know anyone in this social group. I know the host of the party. It's her book launch. She's a fellow author from my publishing company. I've met her a couple of times. I knew my publisher was going to be there, and that was about it. I didn't know anyone else who was coming to the party. It was in a different neighborhood than I live in. It was something that had me excited for the possibilities that could come down the pike. But as I drove and got closer and closer and closer to the party, I got more and more nervous. And these kind of second thoughts came into my mind about maybe leaving and not going. As I was sitting there in my parked car debating whether I was going to actually get out and go into the party, I kind of looked at like, who am I being here? Like, what's going on? I looked around at all the cars parked around me. Do you know everyone else was sitting in their car? Probably going through the same thought process. A lot of people were arriving to the party by themselves, just like I was. There seemed to be a lot of odds and ends people coming in, probably from different social circles that she has. It just was this beautiful moment of awareness where it's like, wow, I'm really tapped into other people's worlds. I'm also really tapped into all the past social experiences that I've avoided or have not had fun with. And once I was able to kind of go, you know what, that's not mine, it's not my reality. What really is possible here if I wanted to go and actually play with these people? Oh my goodness, I met so many cool people. I've got 3 new clients. I've sold 2 books that were just on pre-sale basically. They just popped off the printer, but I was there hand delivering it to my publisher. 2 people saw and said, I want a copy right now. So I had my first in-person sale. It's all these really exciting buds of getting out there, just exploring someone else's world and being willing to just show up and see what happens. That avoidance behavior I was noticing in the car is something that I've really let myself kind of back away from possibilities before because of that weird social thing that comes into play. Having more awareness, of course, of like, oh, well, it's not yours, it's other people's, gives you a little bit more space. And then it's a matter of really stretching your wings as a social butterfly, getting your feet underneath you and really discovering for yourself where's your sweet spot. Do you enjoy it? You know, you may actually have a lot more fun with this than you realize, which I discover every single time I go to a party and actually have a really good time. It's the pre-party stuff that I have to work on. It's just fascinating and something I really invite you guys to look at. If you are feeling weird and awkward in social interactions, notice everyone is weird and awkward in social interactions. You're probably tapping into their worlds and making things a bigger deal than they need to be. Show up. Smack a smile on your face, and just see what you can create.